Hey guys, it's Tori. Welcome to my channel, or welcome if you're new. So in today's video, I'm going to walk you through sublimating a coffee mug in a convection toaster oven. And we're going to go ahead and use Cricut Design Space. So let's go ahead and head on over there. And the first thing I did was create new project. And I'm using this template I got from Creative Fabrica along with this adorable Happy Mother's Day template, and that got from Creative Fabrica, and I'll leave it in the link below. This is the measurement already for the mug I'm going to do today. I'm actually going to sublimate on a 15-ounce coffee mug, and the specific mug is a Cricut, and it's a beveled cup is what it's called. And I'll leave that in descriptions as well. So what we're going to do first is take this, the image that we are going to use, and I'm going to make it just a little bit smaller just by pulling it inwards. And we want it to kind of be about the same size. The next thing we're going to do is drag this on top of that image. So we need to do arrange, bring to front, and then we're going to place this right over here. And then what I like to do is just select it. And I like to align it just to make sure that it's centered properly. And then we're going to hit slice. So now when we remove the template, you will see that this is cut just like that one. So let's pull this out. Go ahead and delete this background right here. And let's take this and we're going to hide this because I'm not going to cut that. So this is the image we're going to cut, and you can't really see too well, but it does have the cutout, and I love that because it wraps nicely around the mug. So I'll show you. So let's go ahead, let's hit save first, and then we're going to hit make it. And we're going to send this to my sublimation printer. It's actually an Epson ET2720 that I converted to a sublimation printer. And if you're interested, I'll leave the link below. I have a tutorial showing you how to do it, and it's super easy. We're going to go ahead and mirror this image. And then we are going to hit continue. And it says here we're going to print it on a 8.5 by 14, which is legal paper. We're going to hit send to printer. And we're going to change the printer here to the Epson. I'm going to leave the bleed on, and then I'm going to turn use system dialog on. We're going to go here and change it again to the Epson, and then click on preference. And we need, I have this already preset, so I just have to click sublimation preset, and that'll change this to the legal paper. It's portrait paper type. You should always use the best paper. The quality should always be high, and you want to make sure that nothing here is checked. Then we're going to go more options, and then you want to make sure that it is not mirrored or high speed or rotate, because we already mirrored it in Cricut Design Space. Then hit advanced. The color mode is Adobe RGB, gamma is 2.2, and then you just set these control settings or the color correction to your liking. We're going to hit OK and OK. I'm going to go ahead and load the sublimation paper in the sublimation printer, and then we're going to hit print. So now we're ready to send it to the Cricut to cut the image because it just came off the printer. And I'm going to select laser paper because the sublimation paper is so similar to a copy paper as far as the texture, so that would work perfectly. And we're going to go ahead and load the mat, and then we're going to cut it. When you do place your paper on the mat, make sure to pay attention to over here where it shows you where the paper should be, what side, and all that kind of stuff. And we're going to go ahead and cut it. So I have it placed on the mat, and it doesn't really, to be honest with you, it doesn't matter what mat you're using. If you notice, I'm using a fabric mat. That's just because that's the size mat I need, and that was actually the only mat I could find. So we're just going to go ahead and load it, and then we're going to go ahead and cut it. And we're going to hit the unload. Close this up. And I'm just going to remove this from the mat. And I apologize, it's garbage day if you can hear the garbage truck. And we're going to set this aside until we are ready. We're going to prep the mug. Life is a whirlwind, isn't it? With work, kids, and endless to-dos, finding time to just sit down with a good book can feel impossible. But what if I told you that there's a way to indulge in the joy of reading without hitting pause on your busy life? That is where Amazon Audible has made a big difference in my life. They offer a complimentary 30-day trial where you can explore a universe of stories without spending a dime. Whether you're stuck in traffic, hitting the gym, or just unwinding at home, Audible lets you escape into another world at any moment. And for parents like us, Audible is a godsend, a chance to share the magic of storytelling with our little ones while still tackling our never-ending to-do list. If you're ready to dive in, click the link in the descriptions below and embark on a free Audible journey today. Because with Audible, every moment is an opportunity for an escape. The first thing you want to do is preheat the convection toaster oven because you want it to preheat for at least 15 minutes and the temperature is at 400. The next step is getting some rubbing alcohol. We are going to use some rubbing alcohol to clean the mug, to get off any debris or any dirt. Even if you don't see it, you definitely need to clean it because once you sublimate, it'll turn permanent. So we're just gonna wipe it really well with the rubbing alcohol, and then we need to dry it as well. So this is the image we're going to use. When you place it on the mug, you wanna make sure that it's right side up, and we're gonna go ahead and do that right now. We're gonna apply it. And see how cool this is where this actually connects just like this. I just love that. So before we tape it, you want to make sure that this is even at the bottom and at the top, because then you'll know that it's lined up correctly. So and the other important thing is to make sure that not only is it lined up correctly, but you are pulling it as tightly as you can because you want it to be as secure on the mug. And we're gonna go ahead and use some heat resistant tape. And again, I'm just kind of pulling it so it's tight. It is also very important that you tape this around the mug because you want that to stay pressed down. So we're just going to go a little bit around here just to apply more pressure because you want it to have an even, when it sublimates, you want it to be evenly throughout. And then I also like to do the bottom and the top because you want, see if you can see here, you can see like there's just a little tiny bit of gap, very little. But so it really helps with taping it because you'll have a better turnout if it is pressed firmly against the mug. So we are just going all the way around. And it's not that much of a gap, but you can see just a little bit, and just that not being tightly pressed against the mug can make a big difference. So the next step is using sublimation shrink wrap, and what we're going to do is place the mug inside here just like so. And then what I'm going to do is take some scissors, and I can feel the handle right here, so I'm just going to cut a little bit right where the handle is, and then we will just cut a little bit of that off. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want the shrink wrap to be tight against the mug as well, and it makes more sense just to do that. So, and I think what I'm going to do as well, since this is not specifically for a mug, and I'm going to go ahead and just cut this. because I want to make it tight. So let's take some more sublimation tape and we're going to just pull this tightly like we're wrapping it. So just like this. Okay. And you can cut some of this off at the end, or you can just, when we shrink it, it will just go up. So I'm going to make sure that this is taped good. And another good spot that you need to tape is this as well. So let's go ahead and do just what we did on with the sublimation paper to the shrink wrap. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Maybe one more spot. And I'm going to take a heat gun. This will be the heat gun, and I'm going to plug it in, and then we're going to shrink it. So now we're going to go ahead and shrink this. And what I try to do is get all the bubbles out just so you know it's pretty secure. Perfect. So this is ready to go in the convection toaster oven. We're going to check and see if it's been 15 minutes yet. And we are going to place this mug on parchment paper, because you don't want, this shrink wrap is obviously going to get hot and melt, and you'd rather it melt on parchment paper than inside the convection toaster oven on the rack. You definitely need heat resistant gloves because this gets very, very hot. And remember, it's been at 400 for 15 minutes preheat. We have our parchment paper, and we're going to go ahead and open this up, place this in here, and place the mug in here as well. And we're going to set the timer for 15 minutes. So you definitely need to wear your heat resistant gloves again, because it's super hot, and we have 25 seconds left. And then once the timer goes off, we're going to go ahead and turn the convection toaster oven off and take the mug out of the oven, or out of the toaster. We're going to go ahead, turn it off, and take it out. Go ahead and remove the tape. Oops. All right. So it's super hot, but isn't that awesome? See how nice it looks because we did that certain template where it wraps around the mug. This looks awesome, you guys. Awesome. So I hope that you guys enjoyed the tutorial today. And if you don't already subscribe, make sure to hit the subscribe button. And while you're heading that way, you might as well hit the like button as well. And thank you for watching my video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.